Welcome to Income Generation Part 1. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Success in real estate comes exactly from that. It's doing the right activities at the right time, but more importantly, doing them consistently. And when I talk about this word called consistency, what I'm talking about is every single day that you're working in a real estate business, you need to be practicing those few simple disciplines. So let's talk a little bit more about them. What do you need to begin with? Real estate is actually simple. What it means is, how do you control your market? The only way an agent can control their market is with stock. Where are your sellers? Where do you find them? How do you know where they are? It's simple. Properties are always on a fixed base. Stock is key in this business. Without saleable or lettable stock, you have no business. So that's the first biggest discipline to practice in income generation, is creating wealth for yourself by making sure that at all times you have enough stock on hand. So the question may be, okay, where do I go and find the stock? Here's a simple exercise. Think about this. If I have to ask you, where do buyers come from? You're going to list a number of items. They're going to come from advertisements, internet, word of mouth, boards, driving around an area. Well, funny thing is, sellers come from that same place. The only difference is the stock is fixed. You know where to find it. So the first discipline that needs to be practiced is to create wealth and to build your business and to be a really successful agent, is to go out and get the stock. The foundation model of the millionaire real estate agent is very simple. Leads, listing, leverage. Now, what am I talking about here? Very simple. The more leads you generate and the more listings you bring in, the bigger the leverage you create in the market. There's a very simple saying in real estate: he who controls the stock controls the market. So let's look at how exactly you can control the stock. All right, so in real estate, we talk about the income chain, which kind of looks like a little bit of a Ferris wheel. But really, what happens is the chain needs to be consistent, and more importantly, it needs to continually be moving. So when we start with our income chain, we talk about identifying prospects. Who are your prospects? Who are your potentials? Where should you go to find the stock? Once you've identified where the stock is, then you go and identify those prospects and prospect them. Those are your two key critical activities in real estate: identifying your prospects and prospecting them. Without those two key activities in your income chain, your chain cannot move forward. Once you've prospected them, we carry on to our listing appointments. Once we've got our listing appointments, we then can do our price and marketing presentations. Once we've done our price and marketing presentations, we get to close mandates. Once we've got the mandates, we've got the stock in hand, we can start doing marketing activities. Those marketing activities are going to be able to generate your buyers and tenants. Once you've generated them, you can start closing your deals and generate income. And the last step in the income chain, which is one of the most important, is also to make sure you keep in regular contact with your clients. Let's look at this income chain backwards so that you can understand, without doing the steps in the income chain, the wheel cannot move forward. If we don't generate income, it means you're not closing your sales. If you're not closing your sales, it means you didn't generate buyers or tenants. If you didn't generate buyers or tenants, it means you didn't do your marketing activities. If you're not doing marketing activities, it means you didn't close mandates and you've got no stock. If you've got no stock, it means you didn't do any price and marketing presentations. If you didn't do price and marketing presentations, it means you didn't have listing appointments. If you didn't have listing appointments, it means you failed to do the first two most important steps, which was prospect and identify your prospects. Every single activity and every single success comes from following your income chain very closely. This video is going to concentrate on the first two most important steps, identifying your prospects and prospecting them. So let's now look at how do we identify prospects and how do we know who we need to prospect. All right, so let's discuss how do we find our prospects? How do we identify them? The first one is your circle of influence. It's amazing we're all so tech savvy these days. But here's what I'm going to ask you, is how well are you using your cell phone? We've all got thousands, hundreds of numbers of contacts in our phone. But my question to you is this: do those contacts know who you are? Do they know how to find you? Do they know what business you're in? Because here's what I'm going to say to you. For most of us, we've had a conversation with a person that we've enjoyed that conversation, or we like them enough for them to have shared contact details with us. But as human beings, do we remember people we met a month ago, 3 months ago, 6 months ago, even though it was a great exchange? No, we don't. That circle of influence is absolutely gold to your business. So the first step in prospecting is to connect with that circle of influence. Those prospects in your phone. Let them know that you're in real estate. Let them know that you're in business. Ask them if they know anybody who has a real estate need and if you could possibly help them. They'll be so delighted to hear from you, they'll go out of their way to help you. The next step that we go to is the stock that is currently on the market. We call it the actives. Those people who have a direct need for a real estate person's services. They may not need you at this moment right now, but there may be a need for you in a week's time, a month's time, or you might just get lucky and they say, yes, we are looking for another agent, please come in, let's meet up, come and view my property and let me know what your advice is. The next category is what I call the expireds. Now this is probably the most underrated category of all. Now why would you say to me, why must I follow up on expireds, Michelle? Very simple. 98.9% from stats released of expired listings come back on the market and sell within a 30-day period of being relisted the second time. Remember, the motivation might not have always been good the first time that listing hit the market. But motivation changes, and it can change at any given moment in time. So it's important to track those expired listings, stay in touch, so that when that motivation changes, you're the first person they get to call. The next category is the solds. Now you might think to yourself, wow, she's lost the plot. Why would I contact somebody whose property has already been sold? Well, very simple. We are human beings by nature. We talk, we communicate, we're inquisitive creatures. When the neighbor sells, we like to know, where are you moving to? What price did you get? Because every homeowner is very interested in what price they could achieve for their home, and they like to know what's happening in the area. Now, very often these conversations occur when their neighbors chat and they go, wow, we see you sold your property. Why is it that you're moving? And they'll give the explanation. And then they will carry on the conversation, will go, gee, that's so interesting. We're thinking of moving in 3 months' time or 6 months' time, so we're also looking to put our home in the market. That's why you phone that category. They will know in that street exactly who will be selling next. The next category we go to is the people we do business with. Your hairdresser, your barber, the painter that you refer business to, your electrician you refer business to, the handyman that you give leads to, the compliance company you use to do your compliance certificates. In life, nothing is for nothing. If you don't ask, you don't get. So whilst you are happy generating leads for all of these people, go and ask for some business back again. You'll be amazed at how willing they are also wanting to help you and assist you. And remembering, they're also talking to people all the time. People that paint their house because they're getting ready to put it on the market. People that are wanting an electrical compliance certificate because they realize that there's work to be done and they need to fix it up before they call an agent in. So never be shy to go and ask for the business. The most incredible phenomenon is this. In a Dale Carnegie survey that they did with millions of people, the reality was actually quite tragic. 8 out of 10 people who asked for a referral would happily give a referral. Yet only 2 out of 10 people will ask for a referral. So make sure you find yourself in that category of being in that 8 out of 10. The last category is what I call the tough category, but it doesn't need to be tough. Then once we've canvassed the people who may have a need or a direct need for a real estate business or service, then we go and start what I call the cold canvassing. The people that we have to phone to find out if they are looking to put their homes on the market. But here's my advice. Track the activity in your area. Make sure that you are canvassing in what I call the hotspots. Now, when I refer to the hotspots, what I'm actually talking about is if I'm tracking activity in the area that I've chosen to focus my marketing on, I'm going to see what streets there is activity happening in, what areas there is activity happening in, and I'm going to go and canvass and market myself in the streets and the sections of the suburb where there is a lot happening. The chances of success are almost 99.9%. But to go and canvass in an area or a section where there is zero activity happening, your chances of success are almost less than 1%. So let's just take prospecting a little bit further, because it's not about just working through the categories. The next step in terms of prospecting is, do people know who you are? Do they know how to find you? Are you making yourself brand apparent? Now, when I talk about brand apparent, are you wearing a name badge? Is your car branded? Are people seeing you? Are you talking to people? Are you starting a conversation with people? More importantly, do your prospects know who you are? And do they know where to find you? Every single conversation you are having with people, whether it be a stranger that you meet in a street, people that you know, people that you've met for the first time, people you get introduced to, you need to be making them aware of who you are and what it is that you do. And more importantly, the people that you meet along the way in your business, is are you keeping in touch with them on a regular basis, making sure that you stay top of mind? Are you focusing on the different methods of prospecting? Understanding prospecting is like listening to a radio station. We all choose different radio stations because we like the message, we like the music, we like the presenters. It's very much the same in real estate. So you've got to find the level of prospecting that your audience is going to most relate to. Is it face-to-face? Is it email? Is it WhatsApp? Is it SMS? Is it direct mail? Is it on your social media platforms? which one is working for you. So it's very important that you closely monitor where you're getting the most response from, because then you understand which of the platforms are working for you. Are you putting out video blogs? Video is definitely the way of the future. People respond to a heartfelt message far more than what they respond to just a random, boring post. So are you putting out short, interesting videos, short, interesting articles of information? If you're going to do a drop, make it count. Don't do the same message that every single other agent is putting out there. Make sure that if you're going to put something out, it's stand out. It makes people pay attention to the message that you're trying to convey. Make sure that you're optimizing all of the engines that are available to you. Remembering search engine optimization comes to those and puts you in the forefront if you are using all the platforms at your disposal successfully. So once you understand which are the platforms that are working from you, make sure you use them regularly. There's no point in putting out a post randomly every 3 months or every 6 months. People are going to kind of tune out, or they're not really going to respond to it. So work out for yourself what is going to work for you. What are you getting the most response to? Where are your leads being generated from? And work those platforms successfully. Okay, so we've done the identifying of prospects, and now we've prospected them. Great, success. Now we're going to go on to the listing appointment. That is your time to shine. And in our next video, we're going to concentrate on how to make that listing appointment be really, really successful for you. Because remembering, you only have 7 seconds to make it count. So make sure you're using those 7 seconds effectively.